This is Lola, and yes, my camera is a little bit weird today because I'm using my MacBook. But today I'm going to post it forward. I'm posting it forward as in this is to people. So specifically, I'm posting it forward to people who are dealing with something sort of, or someone, I guess, sort of like stressful or dealing with things such as like depression or anxiety and stuff. And these are sort of my tips and tricks, JK, just tips on how I'm dealing with it. I've been struggling with depression for 4 years or more. I'm just not sure because I felt like it really started to hit me at like ninth grade. I have anxiety, but anxiety I've had, I'm not quite sure, for like maybe 2 years, but it really just hit me. So I don't even like to really talk about it, but I will because this is for people who are dealing with it. So yes. Number one, as you guys know, life isn't easy. But when you wake up in the morning, just make sure that when you look in the mirror or when you like get up, you're not like, I know it's like hard to say, but you're not like in a awful, like ridiculously awful state of mind. Like even if you don't want to, even if you don't have the energy to, even if you're too tired, too sad, like if your whole body's saying like no to getting up in general, try to like, I know you must have like your phone next to you or something when you wake up in the morning. Try to like grab it, look on like Tumblr or Facebook or stuff for like a funny video and just like watch it and laugh or smile or make any kind of like response, because that's sort of like proof you're alive and that you can be happy even for like 1 second. Because I know some people think that depression is just like, well, I mean it is like ongoing sadness that you just can't really break out of. However, they're not like, people with depression aren't like that every single minute. You can bring a smile to someone with depression's face. I got my headphones back on in a different video quality, but number two, make sure that if you're dealing with anything, you're not like pushing it aside, because pushing aside is one of the worst things you could do, and that's speaking from a lot of experience. Pushing aside does not help. It helps with the moment, I guess, because you could be busy or something and you're trying to just deal with everything on the spot, so you need to push away your feelings and stuff, but you need to make sure that you find a way to let it out. Something that doesn't help, because I know there are some people who are depressed and it doesn't look like they're depressed, and so they don't get the help that they should be getting or need, and instead of getting help, they always put on this face. Because I mean, I'm one of those people, and people can't really tell I'm depressed in general, actually, because I'm almost always smiling. But smiling is one of my defense mechanisms, so I smile even when I'm like upset, or like I could be in the worst mood ever and I'll be smiling like crazy. So I mean, even when you're smiling and everyone thinks you're okay, make sure that sometimes you let people know you're not okay, because people who tend to have depression, who are always smiling and stuff, tend to help people the most. And you need to make sure that even when you're like that, you're helping people, but at the same time you're getting help, because you don't want to be giving advice a lot to people, even though you're like hurting on the inside, because it hurts so much to be like dealing with something and have people come to you dealing with other things and you have to give them advice not knowing what to tell yourself. It hurts so much. It's just not worth putting yourself through the pain. If it's a friend and stuff, I understand that you want to help them and stuff, but you need to make sure that you're helping yourself first, or helping yourself at the same time. Because I mean, helping people does help you, but it also hurts you sometimes, and especially if the person you're talking to is really 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 upset. So you might be like, how are you, and they'll tell you they're upset, but they won't ask how are you back, and that might hurt you like ridiculously. So make sure you're dealing with yourself before anyone else, or if you are dealing with other people and yourself, make sure that you let them know that you're dealing with something. If they're your friend, they should understand completely. Number three, make sure you're getting the help exactly when you need it. Like exactly when you need it. I'm not telling you to like jump in your mom's car or jump in your car if you can drive and stuff, and like go to the hospital or some like mental place or like the psychologist unless you can, and get help there exactly at the moment you need it. But you need to do something that will help you. You need to go to someone or go to yourself. For example, a few days ago, I was like freaking out. I don't even know what I was freaking out about. I was just like freaking out. So I threw like a paper on the ground and I was like frustrated and I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to tell anyone. I was freaking out because for some reason I'm having like a lot of problems telling people these days. Like I just feel guilty. And first of all, don't feel guilty for going to your friends for help. I understand that. I mean, even to me, like myself, I'm like right now, I'm like, aren't you being a little bit hypocritical by saying that? But don't feel guilty about going to your friends or someone for help because that's all you can do. And when someone breaks their arm or something, they will go for help. And a mental illness shouldn't be treated differently from any other illness. But I was really frustrated. I ran to the bathroom. I went to one of the stalls and I started like crying, like a very loud crying because no one was in the bathroom and I didn't know what else to do except for like cry. And I was like freaking out, but I did do something that would help myself calm down. And what I did was I took out my phone, I went to the notepad, and I started writing. This is something that I just started doing this year. Like I start writing almost everything I'm feeling on Tumblr. I have like a senior year like sort of journal I call it because this was my last year and I kind of wanted to catalog everything. But you guys should definitely have like a journal or something or take pictures or do something that will like get all your negative emotions out they're not because if they all stay in your side of your head, then they're not going anywhere. And that only builds and builds and builds because negative things just build, especially when you have depression. They just build and you get tired and then suddenly everything feels like the same old, same old. But if you're writing things down, then it's not same old because you're writing down different things each time, even though they might be the same emotions over and over again. It really does help. And I was writing like until lunch. Like I was even writing in the lunch line. Friends were like, "What's wrong?" and stuff, and I was like, "I don't like." I actually said at one point, "I have no idea." I was complete wreck, but right. Also, there's if you don't like calling and stuff because you know there are the suicide hotlines and stuff. Although if you are going to commit suicide, call the suicide hotline. If you have any doubt in your mind, call them. Call them. Tell your parents. Find a way to get help immediately. But if you do not want to call, or because you're not going to commit suicide, but if you do not want to call, or you're just feeling depressed and you need to rant, first of all, there's a text line. I will put the number to the text line below in America, and then there are different text lines all over the place, especially if you don't like talking on the phone, because I don't even really like talking on the phone. I just talk on the phone to like friends every once in a while, and that's usually if I'm in a good mood or if they call me first, because if you call me, then I will not ever hang up on you because I do not like that. I would freak out if someone just randomly hung up on me or didn't pick up. So text this line and be like, "Yo, I'm feeling bad." They'll just ask for your name. You don't even have to give them your real name because they won't know. So just like go to them. If you can't do that, go to a friend. Any friend that you think cares. If you don't go to a friend, go to someone you don't know. Like it is so easy to rant to someone you don't know, especially if you know that they kind of care, or as long as you know they're listening, you'll be fine. I know you can come to me, just message me, like message me. I have a Tumblr. You can like send me an ask, and if you send me an ask and you want to like talk to me more, then just ask for my email address, Skype, text, like anything. I will do anything to help people who are struggling with what I'm currently struggling with and have been struggling with for a while, because right now I can't say I'm a master of dealing with it, but like I have some things to tell you on how to deal with it because it's been a long time, a really long, painful time. So there's that. So I said family, friends, me. If you do want to talk to someone you know, you can either then and you don't trust anyone, then like make a new friend. Like I know I've made a few friends online. And like I said, come to me because I will help you because I like helping people. Number 4, cry. I don't want to don't I guess actually there is nothing I can tell you that's sort of better than just crying and yelling. If there's nowhere to yell, just cry, 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 cry. Cry hard. Cry until everything drains out of you. Cry until you've fallen asleep. Even if you're cry so that you feel yourself crying, hacking, sobs, cry. Because once you finish crying and you wake up that next morning and stuff, you feel sort of better. There's a release sort of especially if you're in that neutral depression zone, because I know that's the worst zone to be in, where you feel like you can't feel. It's just complete and utter numbness when you've been in it so long that there's no difference between the sadnesses. You don't know when you're really sad or just sad. You just know that you feel nothing. Make sure that you cry. Find a way to make yourself cry, because that's how you know you're alive, other than smiling every morning and stuff. I know that sometimes you just don't want to get out of bed and it doesn't seem worth it, and the sun might be shining but you can't feel anything, and your chest hurts and it feels like you're suffocating, and something's pounding hard on your heart, and you feel like someone's sitting on your chest and it's killing you and you don't know what to do. Just get up and just walk, or just get up. First of all, sit up out of bed and just sit up and tell yourself that, first of all, you can do it because you've been doing it for a long time and you've made it this far. It may not have been fun or pleasant or pleasurable or anything exciting. It may have been a boring few years, but you've gotten through it and you're here and you've done it. So just get up. And if you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh, laugh. Do whatever first comes into your mind, other than hurting yourself or hurting other people. Just do it, because there's no better time than now to do things. And once you do that first thing, if you take that first step, then you realize that not every day is exactly the same, and you're not living the same day over and over again, and you're not going through the same pain over and over again. And I know that repetitive motions can kill you on the inside, but remember, every day is different. Remind yourself every morning that every single day is different from the last. Every day. It doesn't matter what you think. Every day is different. Every reaction you get from other people is different. If you don't have people to go to, find someone to go to. I know it's easier said than done, but there are people all over the internet now, who are always willing to help you. There are people really ready to shoot you down on the internet, but there are way more people who are actually going out there to help people. I'm one of those people, and more of the people all over Tumblr and all over Facebook and Twitter and everywhere are reaching out their hand to help people like you and me, and just it's magical. And you need to know that you can go out there and get help, and you can go out there and just talk to people. You're not alone anymore. People know what you're going through. If you need to talk to someone who's been through what you're going through, then just you can find them. you can find them, because you are not alone in whatever your struggle is. No one will know exactly what you're feeling, but people will know the general feelings, the whole crushing feeling, because almost everyone in a situation that has led them to heartbreak knows that crushing feeling. If you just need to rant, just cry, just laugh, just smile, just everything, just breathe. That's all I have to say for today. Bye.